It started like any other day. The sun was still rising over rooftops when Maya zipped up her hoodie and walked to school, earbuds in, trying to drown out her anxiety. She didn't know why she felt like that, heavy in her chest, like something bad was going to happen. There wasn't anything wrong. Not yet. She wasn't the type to get scared easily. She was quiet, smart, kept to herself. Her school, Weston High, was in a small town where the biggest drama was when the vending machine ran out of chips. It was a safe place, a normal place. But that day, it stopped being normal. That was the day everything changed. Before I take you deep into this real and chilling story, I just want to say, if you like true horror stories, eerie encounters, and things that shouldn't be real, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post terrifying, true stories that stay with you long after the screen goes black. Alright, let's begin. It was 10:14 a.m. when the loudspeaker crackled. Everyone stopped. A flat, emotionless voice came through. This is a lockdown. I repeat, this is a lockdown. Teachers, secure your classrooms. Students, stay out of sight. At first, no one moved. A few kids laughed nervously. They thought it was a drill. Maya didn't laugh. She knew something was wrong. Her teacher, Mr. Chandler, turned pale as he locked the door and shut off the lights. Everyone shuffled to the back of the room, behind the supply shelves. Maya's heart thudded hard in her ears. No one said a word, not even a whisper. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Someone whispered, "What's going on?" No answer. Then a noise outside the classroom. A footstep. Slow. Measured. Scraping. Maya felt a chill run up her spine. It wasn't the kind of step a teacher would make. Too slow. Too heavy. Like something dragging its leg. Mr. Chandler held his finger to his lips. Maya could barely breathe. The footsteps stopped outside their door. And then, scratching. Not banging. Not trying to get in. Just soft scratching, right against a metal door. One of the boys, Tyler, began shaking. He was known for being a joker, always loud and obnoxious. But now, he looked like he was about to cry. The scratching stopped. Everyone waited. Then they heard something that made Maya's blood freeze. A voice. A child's voice. "Let me in," it whispered from the hallway. It was right outside. "Please, I'm scared. Please help me." It was a little girl's voice, crying. Everyone looked at each other. There were no little kids in the high school. No one moved. Mr. Chandler quietly mouthed, "Don't open the door." The voice came again, closer, still crying. "I lost my mommy. Please, I'm cold." It was the most pitiful thing Maya had ever heard. But something about it was off. The crying didn't sound real. It was too perfect, like a recording. And then, just as suddenly as it started, silence. 20 minutes later, the all clear came. The police had been on campus. No shooter, no intruder, nothing. That's what they said. But no one believed it, especially Maya, because when the lockdown ended, they checked the hallway cameras. There was no little girl on the tape, no one outside their classroom, just the locked doors, and the sound of scratching, picked up by the hallway mic. Maya didn't sleep for a week, but what she didn't know was that this wasn't over. It was just the beginning, because 2 days later, someone else heard the little girl, this time on the 3rd floor. A janitor named Louis stayed after school to clean. He was mopping near the science lab when he saw her, a little girl, pale skin, long black hair, just standing at the end of the hallway. He called out, thinking she was lost. She didn't answer. He walked toward her, slow and cautious. But before he got close, she turned the corner and vanished. He called security. They searched the whole floor. No sign of her. Nothing. But that wasn't the worst part. When he walked back to his cart, his mop bucket had tipped over. But not just spilled, dragged, wet streaks across the floor, leading away. He followed them, heart racing. They ended at a locker. Locker 313. He opened it. Inside was nothing but scratch marks. Deep gouges, like someone with nails had clawed at the inside. Louise quit the next day. Never came back. Rumors spread fast. Some said it was a ghost of a student who died in a fire years ago. Some said it was a demon pretending to be a child. Maya didn't know what to believe. But a week later, she saw her. It was after school. She had stayed late to finish a project in the computer lab. The sun had just started to set, casting orange light through the windows. She was the last one there, or so she thought. As she packed up her things, she saw a shadow move past the door. She froze. Maybe it was a janitor or a teacher. She peeked out the hallway. No one. Then she heard it. That same voice. Please help me. It came from the stairs. Maya ran. Down the hall. Past the lockers. Past the exit. She didn't look back. But she heard the footsteps chasing her. Fast. Too fast. They stopped when she burst out the front doors. She didn't stop running until she got home. That night, she had a dream. The little girl stood at the foot of her bed, scratching her own arms, over and over. Her eyes were hollow, her mouth stitched shut. Maya woke up screaming, and on her window, faint but clear, scratch marks. It wasn't just Maya anymore. After that night, whispers spread across the school. People started saying Weston High was haunted, that something had been let in during the lockdown, and now it was stuck there, hiding in the dark places between the walls, waiting. But most people laughed it off, except for James. James was a junior, big guy, quiet, serious, always walking around with his headphones in and his hoodie up, kind of like Maya. He didn't believe in ghost stories, called it all hallway drama. But that changed on a Thursday. It was fourth period. The fire alarm went off out of nowhere. Everyone started moving like normal, grabbing their things. Teachers guided students out through the emergency exits. Same routine. But James forgot his phone in the computer lab and ran back inside. No one saw him for 3 hours. When they finally found him, he was sitting inside the janitor's closet, covered in dust and scratches. Silent, staring at the wall. No one could figure out how he got in. The door had been locked from the outside. When the principal asked what happened, he just shook his head. Later, in the nurse's office, he whispered something. It tricked me. That's all he said before shutting down again. They pulled the school security footage. James was seen re-entering the building. But what they saw next made them question everything. A few minutes after he disappeared down the hallway, the door to the computer lab opened by itself. Just a crack. Then something small crawled across the floor, fast and low, like a shadow flickering past camera. It wasn't human. At least not anymore. That part of the footage was quietly deleted, but some of the staff saw it. And one of them, Ms. Lowry, the old librarian, quit the very next day. She told Maya on her way out, that thing isn't a ghost. It's using the school, like it belongs there now. That weekend, Maya tried to forget about everything. She stayed in her room, kept the lights on, and didn't go near any windows. But then she got the text. It was from James. Just one message. It's in the walls. She tried to reply. Called him. Nothing. The next day, he didn't show up to school. His locker was open when they checked it. Inside were his books and something else. A piece of lined paper with just 5 words written on it. Don't follow the crying voice. That was all. No one knew what it meant. Not yet. But that night, Maya found out. She woke up to tapping on her window. She froze. The curtains were drawn, but she saw the shape of something, standing on the other side. Her parents were asleep. The street was quiet. Then the tapping stopped. She held her breath, and that's when the whisper came. Please help me. Right behind her. She spun around, heart pounding. No one there. She grabbed her phone, turned on the flashlight, and checked her room. Nothing, until she looked at the closet door. It was open, only slightly. She always kept it shut. She took a step forward, slowly. Then, just as she reached the knob, it slammed shut on its own. Maya screamed and ran to her parents' room. They told her it was just a nightmare. But the next morning, 3 long scratches were across the closet door, as if something had been inside. She couldn't explain it. Neither could the school counselor, who kept getting more and more students complaining of nightmares that followed them home. The school was falling apart. Whispers, screams heard in the bathrooms, lockers rattling on their own, kids refusing to go down certain hallways, especially past locker 313. And then came the second lockdown. This one was different. No announcement. Just all the lights cutting out, everywhere. Students trapped in classrooms. Doors wouldn't open. Phones wouldn't work. And on the intercom, static. Then a soft hum. Then the voice. Help me. Again and again. Some kids cried. Some passed out. Teachers tried to break down the doors. It lasted for 47 minutes. Then everything went back to normal, like someone flipped a switch. The lights came on. Doors unlocked. But the voice didn't stop, even after they left the school. Maya heard it again that night. From under her bed. She didn't sleep. She didn't move. She just waited for the sun to rise. The next morning, she checked under the bed. Nothing there, except a piece of crumpled paper. Same as James. 5 words, but different ones this time. You heard me. I'm real. At first, everyone thought the nightmare would stay inside the school, that the whispers, the scratching, the voice, they'd stop at the gates. But they didn't, because whatever it was getting stronger. And now, it was following people home. 2 weeks after the second lockdown, a girl named Elise went missing. She was a senior, star volleyball player, bright, outgoing. She'd never been in trouble. She was the kind of girl who smiled at everyone in the hallway, even the quiet ones. Elise left school at 3:35 p.m. She never made it home. Her car was found still parked in the school lot, keys in the ignition. Her phone was on the passenger seat, unlocked. And the last thing she searched for? Children crying in walls meaning. They found scratch marks on the driver's side door. Inside, deep, but no fingerprints. Just one voicemail in her call log, left exactly 1 minute before her phone stopped working. It was silent for 10 seconds. Then a whisper, "Let me out." After Elise disappeared, something changed in the school. It felt heavier, like the walls themselves were watching. Maya kept to herself. She didn't tell anyone that she'd been seeing things in her house. Reflections in dark windows, her closet door slowly opening at night, and shadows that didn't match her own. But she wasn't the only one. More students started reporting the same things. Whispers in the night, knocking sounds with no source, windows fogging up even when it wasn't cold. One boy, Darren, swore he saw Elise's face staring at him from inside a hallway mirror. He screamed and ran into a locker, broke his nose. When teachers asked what happened, he just kept mumbling, "She's not dead. She's trapped." People began to realize the truth. This wasn't just a ghost story. It was a curse, and it was spreading. Mr. Chandler, Maya's homeroom teacher, took a week off. He came back looking thinner, pale, like he hadn't slept in days. He asked the class something strange that day. "Have any of you heard anything coming from inside the walls? Like voices?" No one answered, but Maya's heart dropped, because she had, just the night before. A knock, then a voice. "Let me out. It's dark in here." That night, Maya wrote everything down. Every weird thing that had happened since the lockdown. She needed to make sense of it, to see if she was going crazy. But when she finished, her notes were gone, not erased, burned. A circle of black ashes in the middle of her desk. Her notebook scorched to dust. Only one page survived. And written in shaky handwriting she didn't remember writing. "Don't listen to her. She lies." Maya didn't know what it meant until the next day. She was sitting in the cafeteria when she saw someone watching her. It was a girl, same size, same dark hair, but something was wrong. Her mouth didn't move, yet Maya could hear her. "Let me out." No one else noticed her. Maya blinked, and she was gone. That's when Maya knew the girl wasn't a ghost. She was inside her now, like a sickness, crawling deeper every night. That night, Maya locked every door, closed windows, pulled her blankets up tight, and just as she started to drift off, her bedroom door creaked open. Footsteps. Not her mom, not her dad. Too slow, too wrong. Then the bed dipped like someone sat down, but she couldn't move, couldn't scream, could only hear the whisper, right next to her ear, "She's gonna take you next." When she woke up, she was on the floor. There were scratches on her legs, long, jagged ones. She didn't tell anyone, because now she understood. The girl didn't want help. She wanted company. She wanted out, and she was using Maya to get there. By now, 3 students had gone missing. James, Elise, and now Jordan, gone during third period. Just stepped into the hallway to go to the bathroom and vanished. No one saw him leave. No one ever found him. But his locker door, it slammed shut during roll call. And on it, someone had scratched 5 words. "She's not in the walls." That was it. The next day, the school was shut down. Too many incidents. Too many police calls. Too many missing. They called it a temporary closure. But Maya knew the truth. The building wasn't safe anymore. It wasn't just haunted. It was alive. And it wanted more. The school shut its doors. Police tape across every entrance. Windows boarded. Local news called it a safety hazard. Unexplained structural issues, they said. Electrical problems. A few disappearances still under investigation. But no one believed that. Not the parents. Not the students. And definitely not Maya. Because she still heard her. Even with Weston High closed. Even with Maya staying home. Even when everything should have been over. The voice didn't stop. Sometimes it came from the attic. Sometimes from the drains. Sometimes it came from inside her own head. Let me out. But the worst part wasn't the voice. It was the memories. Maya started seeing things in her dreams. Things she'd never experienced. A fire in an old building. A little girl pounding on a window. Trapped. Screaming. But no one could hear her. And then Maya would wake up, scratching at her arms in her sleep. One night, Maya finally broke. She searched through everything. Old town records. Local history blogs. Then she found it. Weston Orphanage. It used to stand on the exact same land as Weston High. It had burned down in 1987. 13 children died. Only one body was never found. A girl, 7 years old. Name unknown. Maya stared at the photo on the article. It was faded, grainy, but the face, it was her. The girl from the hallway. The one from the mirror. The one whispering at night. The same hollow eyes. Same black hair. Same sadness. Something inside Maya cracked. She knew what she had to do. She had to go back. That night, around 2:17 a.m., Maya climbed the back fence of Weston High. She knew the school better than anyone by now. Which door was still loose. Which hallways creaked. Flashlight in one hand. Salt and chalk in her backpack. Things she read about online. She didn't expect them to work. She just needed something to feel like protection. Inside, it was colder than outside. Completely still. No power. No sounds. No light. But the air felt alive. The moment she stepped inside, the whisper returned. I knew you'd come back. Her breath caught in her throat. She walked down the main hallway, past the classrooms, past locker 313. It was open now, empty, but something dripped inside. She didn't look. She couldn't. The crying started again, soft and wet, echoing through the vents. And then her flashlight flickered, then died. Total blackness. She stood in the dark, heart racing. Then a soft glow, coming from the floor. The tiles beneath her were lighting up, one by one, forming a path, down the hall, toward the basement. She followed. She had to. She reached the old boiler room. The walls were cracked, pipes hissed steam, and then she saw it. The door, metal, rusted, half sealed by time. Something pounded behind it. She stepped closer, and the whisper returned, louder now. Desperate. Let me out. I don't want to be alone anymore. Maya reached for the handle, but stopped, because she finally understood. It was never asking for help. It was inviting her in. A trade, not a rescue. A possession. That's how it worked. That's why James was gone. Why Elise vanished. Why the others were never found. It didn't escape. It pulled him inside. She backed away, her hand shaking. The whisper grew harsher, meaner. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. The room shook. The walls screamed. And then silence. One deep breath. And Maya said out loud, no. The lights exploded. The air turned freezing. And everything went black. She woke up 3 days later. In her bed. Alive. No one knew how she got back. Her parents thought she'd been sleepwalking. But the school? The very next morning, it burned down. No one knows how. The fire marshal blamed faulty wires. But Maya knew better. The voice was gone. The scratches stopped. The dreams faded. Weston High was nothing but rubble and ash. And whatever was trapped inside was buried with it. Or at least, that's what she tells herself. Because sometimes, late at night, when everything is quiet, she still hears a knock at the window, and the faint sound of crying, and a whisper, I'm still here.